The other thing we'd like to look at here is going to be our work setup. So simply to set up work, we hit setup at the bottom. For location, we would select our client, farm, and field. If we don't have anything in there, we can actually enter those in here. What we're going to do for today is just simply type in test for our client. We're going to type in test for our farm. Make sure that everything is entered correctly. We push save. At the bottom, we're going to push field, add one more field. Again, we will call it test. Push OK. Verify our information is saving correctly. We push save. Make sure that we are in our test client, test farm, and test field, and simply push OK. It's automatically pre-populating our equipment, so we know we have our 8000R tractor. It's already pre-populated with the serial number. GPS offsets are also pre-populating, as well as our connections. We simply push save, and we check on our planner. Since we are plugged in ISO, we know that we're on a planner. This is a 1725, so we're on a rear 3-point. Our working width pre-populates, dimensions, and our recording source is set to auto. Now, one thing to remember on our Gen 4 is we can actually use our mechanical delay on and off. This gives the ability to actually change our section control within that 4600. If we want to do performance tuning, one of the things that we can actually do now is entering coverage, as opposed to how we did it with the 2630s. It's time-based. Now we have the ability to do entering coverage and exiting coverage with our skip and overlap, and using a distance and a speed. So it actually will calculate a lot of that information for us. So, and when we're entering coverage, our problem is we have too much overlap. We can simply tell it 5 feet at 5 miles per hour. So now it's going to calculate the proper amount of section control required to pull that off. When we're exiting, what we're seeing is we're seeing skip. Our skip is actually 5 feet, and we're going to exit again at 5 miles per hour. So now it's actually going to calculate what needs to happen inside of section control to make sure that we get our proper turn on, turn off times. So from there, we simply hit OK. One thing to remember is our type is our planting seeding. Our crop is soybean, so we're going to swap it down to say soybean. Push OK. Once we get that, we're also then at that point we could enter in our variety. Add variety here, and we're going to call it test as well, and simply push OK. Now you'll see that it's been assigned to all rows. If we wanted to do a dual configuration, we then could call this variety test 2. Push OK. So now we have 2 different varieties, or we can go back to a single variety. If we wanted to have a custom row configuration and have different varieties in different rows, we could do that here. Many times the single is what we're going to use, or a dual for running a split planter. Simply hit OK. Our target rate is all that information is going to be set inside the controller. If we are using a prescription, we would hit RX and load our prescription through the RX converter here in the 4600. Since we're using our controller rate, actually will bring us right straight back to our planner run page and let us change our rate right there. So it is good that it gives us that shortcut. So from here, our work setup is now complete. We push OK. So now work has been set up. All we would need to do is make sure that our status, our information is set to be OK. So once the planter goes down, work will start, and make sure that our auto track is set up properly. And with that, that's how we would run our 1725 with our Gen 4 command center.